politics together with your crazy political science instructor. Do you all remember the story of Gulliver and how he was tied up by the Lilliputians? You probably saw this as a cartoon when you were small, but there Gulliver was, this giant. He was just a man, but in the land of Lilliput, he was a giant. And the people of Lilliput tied him up. They tied him up, and then when he woke up, he broke all the binds and stood up. But then what happened? He became their leader. And so there's an irony with our presidency. The irony is we want someone who can lead us, and yet we're constantly trying to restrain them, to constrain their power. We love a strong leader, but we fear a strong leader. We want a leader that will help our country, improve policy, and yet at the same time, we don't want a tyrant. And so our constitutional system requires the president to constantly be going to Congress. So then the president responds with executive orders. And then we're angry at the president saying, oh, he's going to become a dictator. And so what we have is this conflicted relationship with the president. See, we want a president that can do a lot, and yet we want a president that remains a constitutional president. And so this week, you're studying all about this issue. And naturally, I'd like you to consider which president you find to be the best. Perhaps it's simply your favorite president. And tell me why you think that president has been so effective. Maybe it's a current president. Maybe it's President Obama. I know many of my students love President Clinton. Others who might recall Reagan fondly or have read a lot about all the things that Reagan did when the Cold War ended. And others go back to President Kennedy, perhaps President Roosevelt, and then, of course, the classics, Lincoln, Washington. So consider the impact that the president can have on our country. Consider the role of what a leader does and how a leader can be effective. And I included a little TED Talks video about the nature of leadership, which might help you think a bit about why it is that the president you think has been the most effective was able to do that. So I think you'll enjoy the study of the presidency, and think as you're reading about this contradiction, this paradox, about how we want a powerful president, and yet at the same time we constrain the president's ability to do very much.